Success begins in silence, not in applause. Success doesn't begin when the crowd cheers. It doesn't begin on stage, in front of cameras, under lights. It begins in the silence. When no one is watching, when no one believes, when no one claps for you, because there's nothing to clap for yet. But you believe anyway, because true greatness is not born in noise. It's forged in quiet commitment. When your alarm rings before the sun, when you show up again after failing, when you sacrifice comfort for growth, that's where success begins. Not in applause, but in obscurity, in the shadows, while others sleep. In those long hours where your only audience is doubt, discipline, and the dream inside your head that refuses to die. You see, the world teaches you to seek validation, to post your every move, to chase likes and comments. But the truth is, the most powerful moves are made in silence. Think of the giants who built empires from nothing. Henry Ford wasn't celebrated when he was failing forward. Walt Disney was laughed out of offices before he changed the world. Edison failed 10,000 times, and no one was cheering for him in the lab at midnight. Because applause is not the beginning, it is the result. It is the echo that follows relentless execution, not the fuel that starts it. So stop looking for claps. Stop waiting for approval. Silence is not a void, it is a forge. And your future is being hammered into shape every day you show up without recognition. This is the test. Can you remain faithful when no one sees you? Can you believe in your vision before there's evidence? Can you work in the dark and trust that the light will come? That is where winners are made. Silence doesn't just test your patience, it tests your identity. Because in the silence there is no feedback, no praise, no applause, just you and your standards. This is where most people fall apart. They can hustle when people are watching. They can grind when it gets attention. But the moment the noise dies, so does their drive. Why? Because they were never committed. They were just addicted to recognition. But the few, the rare, they don't need the world to clap. They clap for themselves every time they show up. They clap every time they choose discipline over comfort. They clap every time they say no to mediocrity and yes to the next level. The silence becomes their sanctuary. Because in the silence there is no distraction, just clarity. You begin to hear yourself again. You begin to remember why you started, not for the noise, but for the impact. Not for applause, but for legacy. Every great transformation begins in the quiet. It's in the silence that you rewire your mind. It's in the silence that you build unshakable habits. It's in the silence that you develop the kind of inner power that no storm, no setback, no hater can destroy. Understand this. You do not become great by performing. You become great by preparing. Champions are built in the hours when the world is sleeping, when everyone else is binging distractions. You are sharpening your sword. When others are partying, you are planning, training, thinking, becoming. And when the moment finally comes, when your time arrives, you won't need to announce it. You won't need to beg for support. The results will speak for you. The work will testify. And the world will have no choice but to applaud, not because you asked them to, but because you earned it. That's the difference. So here's the truth you must swallow if you want to win. You must fall in love with silence. You must become obsessed with the grind no one sees. You must find your power in the unseen hours, because if you can't stay loyal to your mission when no one is clapping, you'll never be strong enough to carry it when the world finally starts watching. This world is noisy, loud opinions, louder distractions. But the winners, they live beneath the noise. They don't chase validation. They build value. They don't move for praise. They move with purpose. They don't wait to be noticed. They prepare to be undeniable. Every legendary chapter begins in private. Every success story you admire. It started with a moment of decision in the dark, a whisper of belief, a promise made in silence. I will not quit. I will not fold. I will become who I was meant to be. No spotlight, no stage, just a soul on fire. So if you're in the silence now, good. That's where the seeds are planted. That's where your future self is being built. Brick by brick, rep by rep, choice by choice. And one day, the world will see it. They will see what you built while they slept. They will hear what you spoke into existence when no one else believed. They will witness the roar that came from years of silence. But by then, applause won't even matter, because you'll have already won. You'll have become someone the noise can't shake, because you were forged in the silence. And that is where real success begins.